guys, Coach Kuiper here with another installment of Kuiper's Coaching Concepts. I'm going to go over tendencies with a runner on second base. We went over in the other video how to employ the UCLA technique to vary your cadence. When we get a man on second, it's a little bit less important about how long you hold on to it as it is the number of looks. It's real straightforward. If you have a predictable number of looks and a predictable manner in which you lift your leg to deliver the baseball, then the base runner can take advantage of that, pick a time appropriately, and either extend his primary, get a good aggressive secondary, and then with that secondary, potentially steal a base. Okay? Not as powerful as knowing what pitch is coming, but it is the next best thing when it comes to base running. Tendencies. Where do you look when you lift your leg? Okay? When you come set with there's a man on second, do you always look once and go? Do you vary it? Do you do no looks, one look, two look? Do you switch it up and go even more than that? I wouldn't really recommend more than a second look. Maybe do it every once in a while, but if you have 0, 1, and 2 looks at your disposal plus some half looks, you really have varied it up enough where he shouldn't be able to get the hang of it. So what are we talking about? Those head number of looks, that's pretty self-explanatory. Make sure you vary that up. But then where is your head when you pick up your foot? That's almost as important as the number of looks. You could have a 1 look or 2 look, but if you're always delivering the baseball at the same point in your return gaze towards home, then the number of looks doesn't really matter. All he's keying in on is how much of his head is turned and does he lift at that same place. So here I'll show it and bring it up for an example. So let's say it comes set, looking at home, turn back at the batter. If I only deliver the baseball once my head gets all the way back to home, that runner can then extend when he sees my head turn all the way forward. Okay? If I come back, then he can pull back, but he knows that I have to go all the way home before I lift. Okay? Let's not be that guy. Okay? The next thing that he'll be looking for, whether it be is my near eye disappearing. If I'm looking fully home, that eye nearest to the base runner will have disappeared, and then he knows that I'm going home. So let's just look at it. If I'm coming set looking at home, looking at the runner, back at home, if I'm looking at the runner, am I ever going to deliver the baseball here? Hopefully, yes. But more often than not, you're going to see pitchers who are going to start to turn their heads. And if this far eye from him gets out of the field of view, and I begin to deliver on a routine basis, he'll start calling me a far eye guy. He'll tell his buddies, and then they'll start to key in on when do I start my head turn. Okay? What about this near eye, this eye nearest to him? If it takes for that near eye to get out of the line of sight, and that's when I deliver the baseball, he'll call me a near eye guy. Okay, it's a little bit further. It's not quite as far as the full complete, but as soon as that near eye goes, that guy might think to extend. So we want to be able to vary all of these things. So you want to be able to come set, change your number of looks. You want to be able to pitch directly looking at home. You want to be able to pitch directly looking at him. You want to be able to pitch somewhere in between, whether it be a slight turn, a far eye, okay, it might be a near eye, lift and go. If you can vary up all of those things, then you're not giving the base runner on second any information. So vary the number of looks, vary the place within your look where you lift and go. And you can do all of this by presetting it. Sometimes you can have a catcher give a signal as to the number of looks. You can have the shortstop give you a signal as to the number of looks. Or ideally, you can just vary it up on your own. I know when the game is new to a lot of people in the youth game, the game is fast and there's a ton of things to think about. So I realize that this can add more strain and strength, more things to think about. But it is a very, very important thing in terms of controlling the run game. So if you can just get in the habit, if nothing else, change the number of looks. And then occasionally, I would highly recommend doing some no looks. If nothing else, just make sure that sometimes you come set and go. Doesn't have to be quick. You can just come set, hold, and go. And that guy's thinking you're going to come looking, because most guys come and take a look at some point, or if they do a no look, it's a no look and go. So just mix it up. If you mix it up, you're ahead of the game. And let's just leave it at that and say mix it up, the number of looks, when you lift and go. and you'll go ahead and put yourself in the best position to succeed and control that run game from second. Thanks a lot, and what we'll eventually have is the links down below so you can check out the other videos on controlling the run game at first, some other concept along the lines of controlling the run game as well. Thanks.